Hey there, folks. Let's do today's CSS Daily Target. Ooh, what a delightful shape this is. All right. So what are the pieces? What are the pieces? We got a few different pieces going on here. I think the right way to approach this is the nested template. Okay. To start with, which puts the blue on the HTML element, and then we use, I'll put the color white, on the body tag. So now let's use margins to narrow that in, 4, 5. And again, the reminder that this doesn't work in Firefox in the way that we might wish it would. 1, 2. All right, so that's what we got. That's part one. What do we need next? What are the different parts we need? We can do these lines a few different ways. This is the part that's interesting. The part that's sticking out, which makes me think maybe we would use an actual element, a paragraph element in probably my case. But let's see if we can avoid it and what that code looks like. So let's just build things up from the back. How about it? We'll start with the circle, radial gradient, circle, and a circle of white, 40 pixels, let's say, transparent. Okay, too small, 5, 6, and not in the right place. Let's move it down, 20 pixels, 10, 20, 30. Okay, so that's part one. What do we do to do this piece, these different pieces? And are there efficiencies to be gained? Well, they need to be in front of this circle, don't they? They really do. Unless we view this circle, unless we undo this, if we don't see anything, let's put black on the body, and then do the reverse and see if that makes any better sense. It might not, but I'm kind of curious. So if we've got that, do we get any win out of that? So I don't think we do. So I got stuff going there, and then nah, not really. How about a linear gradient? I'm gonna for once avoid a conic gradient. We'll do a linear gradient that's at 90 degrees, transparent, and then it'll be this blue as a covering, and then transparent again. Or white, actually, just less characters, and then the blue again, and then transparent. And we have one more. We have nested. I didn't see that. All right. So let's say 40 pixels, 0. We're just starting at an arbitrary 50. There it is. Probably that's 60. And then that's probably what, 80 pixels, or maybe it's 90. Let's try 80 and then put that color stop in. Okay, that's okay. And then this will be 90 pixels and 0. So that's what that line looks like. But let's do a, I'm putting it in the top corner right now, and I'm giving it a height and width. The width is going to be 100%, and the height 40 pixels, and then a no repeat. So that's what that looks like. Let's move it down. $30, $40, $50, $60. Doesn't really solve our problems terrifically. $60, $50. All right. And then what? Well, we still need this little blue part. And that does make me think conic gradient. I know I said that I was going to avoid a conic gradient, but for a very specific size chunk of blue, I really like it for that. Is it efficient? I don't know. Probably not. I'm going to put this in the upper top corner. And I guess I'm going to do give it a side. No, I'm not going to do that. Nope, wrong. And the width is, well, I don't actually. So the height is probably 10 and the width is probably 50 pixels. And then we move it down. And we can't really see it, but I swear it's there. 20, 10, 20 pixels, 30, 40, 50, a little lower, 110, oh, yeah, that's, so that's a little less wide, 40, and there it is. So that's a lot. That's a lot of chunks. Not particularly efficient, but I think I'm probably going to leave it be. And I'm gonna do a linear gradient to top off the end of this. White, transparent, white, transparent, comma. And there's that. This is probably 20 pixels. 0, 30 pixels, 0, 50 pixels, and then 0. I think that's right. Let's submit that. So 1, 2, 3, 4 gradients. And that's all right. We'll take that. Are there clever ways to do this? Are there better ways to do this? Yes, probably. Let's minify. So we got 100%. Let's minify and unit replace. And then let's think about what else we could do. Obviously, the complexity of this shape here is the tricky dumb part. So let's go with blank template, and we'll do that piece, who's going to be white, and then border solid blue, this blue color. Border width 10 pixels, or actually 0, 10 pixels, 10 pixels, which gets that there very nicely. And then we'll put the margins on the paragraph element, push it down 10, 110, push it in 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 50, 60, 70, 72. And that height is a little off. 50, 60. All right, so that's the hard part. Sorry for the eye bleed red there. But now we've done the hard part first, and then we can do radial gradient, which is circle. Sir, I misspelled circle. Circle. FFF. And then it's blue. And once again, I'm not committed to memory the size of that. Okay, what it is, it's actually no, 60 pixel radials, and we do 0, and then push it down 40 pixels, or 50? No, 30. There it is. So that's a single gradient, and then the other one. So again, I'm going to use a conic gradient, but this one is let's see, -SG for a conic gradient, which will be transparent, 75% around, and then that blue, no, white, and we only need 3 hexadecimal colors there. And then we put that in place. We do var -SG, var parentheses -SG, close parentheses, comma, and that is at 100 pixels, 20 pixels. And then we need a solid color stop there. There it is. It's a little wider, 130, 40. So then we put that in and then move it pixels, 100 pixels. Along those lines. Too low, 90. And then not far over, go 20, 30. That is the correct width. It's 150 pixels width. And then we do another one. Like that. And then he's just not as high. 60. There it is. It's a little cleaner. It's a little cleaner. Let's submit. Make sure we're 100%. But you know, that's fun. That's a fun one. And if I undo the background on the P element, which is the thing that's covering, and we're using borders to create this complex shape. We're unit replace, minify, and submit. Probably a better score. Let's wait on that. And now, what's a better score? You know, and you can nip and tuck at some of the different pieces here. You know, to your liking. What a fun little puzzle, little brain teaser. So yeah, I'm using the conic gradient here, and then just using two of them, set in a variable, and then a radial gradient, and then just borders to do that over piece. Can I think of more ways to do this? Yeah, probably. I think there's some interesting box shadow techniques, potentially inset box shadows that you could do some of this with if you created like two elements, and there's some fun stuff that you could do that I'm probably not thinking of, but hey, you go for it. Thanks for watching. Hope you're having a great day. Go make a web page. It's always a heck of a day out here, and I definitely know that people are having a hard time because the world is got a lot of terribleness in it. But do your best, make a web page, send a web page to your friend. Bye bye.